Alright guys, I am Cube Prospector with another episode of AchromatiCraft. So last time we worked a lot on getting this portal set up, some of the landscape, the trees. You can see some of them back there at the trading hall. We got some of those trees in too. But between episodes, I've actually been working on getting more of the landscaping done. Got a few little bushes in here. Put a little of this grass, or maybe they're even smaller bushes. I don't know. We got those put down. We got a tree added here to the corner. And before we go show you the rest, you've got to see what we've been getting over here as far as wool goes. I've had to expand my chest because there are so many of them, and there's even more. This just keeps rolling in. So it's getting pretty crazy. We're gonna have to trade some of it. But before we go down and look at that other part, I might need to actually make a bed here real quick. I didn't realize the sun was going down, so let's just go make a bed here real quick and we'll sleep. And then I want to show you kind of what we've been doing down there. So let me make a bed, we'll sleep real quick, and then we will go look at that other stuff. All right, now that we've slept, we can go down and check out some of this other work I've been working on. We got the iron farm still run. Maybe we'll hear a golem die while we go past it. Both of these farms have been doing really great. I'll have to show you a little bit here in a minute. But what we've done down here is I built a little forge. I'm kind of playing off the idea that this drilling was going on and they needed a forge. So nothing real fancy. It's was made to look like it just got thrown together, and it's been used and worn and torn. We've got our furnaces here, a little fire, some coal. Here's where we finally used that barrel example that we did from last episode. And put it here and just said, I don't know, maybe it's ashes that are coming out of here, but just a little barrel for us. So we'll use this from time to time, but that's not very many furnaces. We'll build a real furnace array somewhere in the future. But just wanted to kind of give this a little more atmosphere. And what I've been adding is some of these walls. As you know, these lanterns don't do very well. So we've been burying these shroom lights. And someone pointed out to me that I don't even have to use shroom lights. Let me see if I can find an example back here where I started doing it, is that I could just use torches. I was a little worried about these particles coming off, but when you put them straight down, the carpet actually blocks those. I don't even have to use the shroom lights everywhere anymore. I can just use buried torches. That'll work just fine. We've been adding a little atmosphere here. You can see I added some more custom trees. I'm really working on what Good Times with Scar talks about, where he talks about sight lines. And for a long time, when you came down this road, you'd just see the big green hill. And so I wanted to put a couple trees there so it would help us stay kind of in that gray mode, even though the green peeks through. It's little bare sight lines there. We finally got a little covering for our mine. So this goes down to our mine shaft. It'll drop in. Then I finally made a bubble column here. Took me a lot of time to not drown, but we got it all set up there. And really, I've just been working on these sight lines of not just having a straight path, but coming down, revealing what you're looking at, having the trees kind of lead your eyes in certain directions. So I think we're actually doing pretty well in this area. It's finally looking like a city, something people have lived in. Where other parts still are pretty boring over there, we'll get there. But this is kind of the direction we're going to be going. It's really making it look like it's lived in, it's been mined in. And I want to have different kind of trees where these are more of like a spruce or a pine. We wanted to get a little bit of like a small weeping willow, where the leaves grow in a little bit more here, so it feels more like a farm. So we've started adding some of those. You'll have to let me know what you think. This is just blending 2 of the dead corals, where some of theirs over there we used 3 or 4. Tried to stick with just 2 here. But let me know your thoughts. We also, instead of using polished basalt, we'll probably start using some of that acacia wood. We planted a bunch of trees over there. You can kind of see them. So we might use those on some trees as well. But really, this is kind of that atmosphere we're going for. That it looks lived in. You can imagine if this wasn't an infestation, that if we just made a picture grayscale, that this might be what it looks like. So if you guys have any ideas for the trees, how to kind of take them to the next level, let me know. I've tried to make them pretty good with what dead coral can give us, but that is essentially kind of what we've done landscape-wise. So the other thing I want to show you is, as you know, this is a big green blob in the middle of our grayscale city. So some of you were a little concerned of why would Cube Prospector put this right in the middle? We're actually going to get rid of it. We're going to have a different way. We're going to use villagers to kind of auto farm this in the future. So don't worry about it being green. It's just here. It just happened to be right in the city. It was next to the portal where we had it before. This is actually going to become a whole city center. So don't worry about that for now. In the future, we'll get that taken care of. But one thing I had to upgrade, and I'll show you down here, is we put a little bit of redstone in here because I was getting sick of having to go up to the trapdoors, come all the way back down. I'm going to show you this. So beautiful. All I got to do is flip this switch. It breaks or opens all the trapdoors down there, and we get to see all the potatoes cascade down here. I think it's the coolest sight to see all of these come splashing down. Plop, plop, plop in there, and we can turn this back off. And then we don't have to keep running back and forth. Now we can just pick up all the potatoes, get them replanted, and we're ready to go. I'm not going to make you watch another time of me replanting potatoes. Let me cut here real quick. I'm going to replant this, and then we'll go up and actually look at the trading hall. So give me just a minute. Okay, and we got that all replanted. As you know, it only takes a little bit, but it gives us so many potatoes. So it works out really great because what we've been doing up here in our trading hall is getting our villager population up. I want to have a bunch of villagers of every type. And you get to see a little bit about how dirty of a process it is. This wasn't built for baby villagers, so I had to use some dirt to kind of block in the different ones. A while ago I blocked this in so you couldn't go downstairs. We'll open that up here in a minute. But really what I'm doing is trying to get different villagers of different types in the different areas. So we're getting pretty close. Looks like I might need to breed them once again. Or at nighttime we'll look and see if we've got enough in each. Then we'll probably close up this middle part again. I think we're getting pretty close. But really just want to have a couple of every kind. We've got those guys in there. We're getting some more of these guys. Eventually we're going to have this all closed off, nice and neat. Looks like it's time I don't see any babies, so it's probably time for me to breed them up again. But we won't do that just now. I just wanted to give you kind of that update. And then as we talked about, I don't want to have all this green out in the middle of our city, especially because it creates all that gray scale that we've created and just throws so much color in it. So we're not going to do that, but I want that just to get us started. We're actually going to turn this kind of into a central park with some buildings around it. So it'll be a path that kind of goes from that side to this side and then from here down into the middle. But we're going to do that in a while. This is still providing us lots of emeralds. But before we do that, I need a way to keep getting those. So what I've been working on, you'll see I still need to do some terraforming out here. I started working out some farmers who will just continue to live down here. As you can see, he harvests it, he brings it over here to his friend, and we get automatic carrots. These won't come in quite as fast as what our farm is out there, but at a certain point, we won't need to keep getting all of these carrots all the time. This is going to be a continuous way that we can get emeralds without really having to do any work. We'll just let these guys do that. And then I started potatoes over here, but I haven't moved any of the villagers. We're still breeding them up. We're going to have them come down here. We'll do the exact same setup with potatoes. We'll do that. And then on the sugar cane, you can see I've already got it prepped. Just need to actually throw in that sugar cane so it's in here and growing. We can come down here manually harvest it. Sugar cane's not that bad. We will put something in the water though so that the pieces don't fall in there. This is what the basement of the trading hall is going to be, is some farms that continue to get us stuff where the dark or the bright green is not in the middle of our city. It's going to be down here kind of hidden out of that gray side area. That's what we've been doing around here. Now, the question y'all have probably been asking How in the world is Cube Prospector getting all of this coral? Because it's a lot. And it's not going to be sustainable for me to just keep going to my warm ocean biome, which is 2,000 blocks that way and 1,000 blocks the other, or 2,000 one way and 1,000 the other. It's a long ways out there, and I can't keep traveling there. We've got a path there in the nether, but when we go out there, there's actually an easier way than what I was doing before. So let's travel out there real quick, and I can show you kind of how that works. So we'll go here. Then I'm just going to zoom right out there, and y'all can kind of see the pathway I have to take to get out to nether portal. Oh, and we moved our nether portal. It used to be right there. We've moved it here. I just haven't taken it down yet. But let's zoom out there, and I'll show you how long it takes to get out there. So that's how we get to the sand farm, but we got to keep going. This is probably a cool spot to stop for a minute. There is a spawner up there and a spawner up there. So in the future, if we need some kind of a farm for these guys, we'll have a spot. Right now, it's just really deadly over here. But that's how far we have to travel to get clear out here to this coral farm. Sorry, just gonna clean up this guy real quick too. We might not even need a farm. I don't think we'll use these that much until the point where we get to end rods. Maybe we'll need some of these then. But for now, we're gonna go in here to our coral farm. And normally, and I'll show you this here in a minute, this is what we've been doing, is just swimming down here, breaking these like crazy. How we get a lot of our coral and coral fans. A lot of work. And you almost drown a lot, unless you have respiration, which I don't just yet. So normally I take this boat. Maybe I'll show you that real quick where I've been kind of going. Because I've been coming clear over here, because I don't want to break this spot where I am here in the warm ocean biome. I want to make that in a good spot. What I need to do is travel clear out here. Let's do that real quick. All right, so I set up this little column here that shows this kind of an overview of what it's been, but this whole area, let me climb up here, it's a little easier to see. I've actually been climbing up here so I could do it before and after, but this whole thing was full of coral. And so you can see how much we've done. Let me put up real quick an image of what this place looked like before. And then back here we are. This is what it looks like after. Big change, right? There's been so much digging going on out here. It's been crazy. But what I really wanted to do is see if there was a better way for me to do this. So I'm actually going to travel back to our portal. You may have got a glimpse of it, but we got a farm set there. So let me do that real quick. Okay, we have made it back from our little journey, and we're back at our portal where we came through. And you're going to see this coral farm that I built. So this is a RayWorks farm. Definitely go check out his tutorial. I've linked it down in the description. It's a lot better explaining it than what I'm going to do here. But the beauty of something like this is if I take just a silk touch pickaxe and turn on this middle rail, climb in, and just start moving to the side, it's actually going to just keep me moving side to side. And every time it clicks, it's putting more bone meal. So all I really have to do is just hold down my mouse. And I could go AFK if I want to, or I can just stay here. Kind of depends on what I'm doing. Perfect time to just put on a podcast, listen to something as I go. As you can see, I don't break anything other than what's in there. So all I do is just keep going back and forth. Obviously I need to bring some bone meal out here. I'll jump out so I can show you a little bit of how I'm going to do this. And I've got my collection area here. But all I need to do with this, and I don't know if RayWorks has a better way, But I've just been jumping in here, putting a whole bunch of bone meal and jumping back out. There might be a better, faster way of doing it, but it's really not that bad. And I don't have to do it that much to get a bunch of what I need to do. And then on top of that, it's not just enough to get these fans, is I needed a way to craft them. So I actually used vanilla tweaks on the coral crafting. So I can come in here, take 4 of these, and get a coral block. So as you can see, I can come out here AFK and get all the blocks I need instead of having to go in and just wipe out all of this coral. Because I'm going to be doing a lot of building with coral. So I need to just make sure that I'm coming out here AFKing, so I can get those blocks a lot easier, a lot quicker. Well, from time to time, I'll come out here, do some AFKing, but definitely go check out RayWorks farm for this. He did such an amazing job, and the fact that I can just come in and just sit in a cart and go back and forth for an hour and get so much coral is going to be huge, especially on all those trees we're building. So that's kind of what I wanted to show you real quick on that. Now let's go back to the village, and I got another project in mind. So let's go over there. All right, we are back from our long trip back from the Nether. That was quite the run. It always takes so long to kind of run down that tunnel. That's why we only go out there to AFK. But now what I want to do real quick is just show you a little bit about how we've been getting these villagers up to having a lot more. So really, it's the same process. Oh, and I don't have any beds, so we'll go make some more of those. Really the same process that we've kind of been doing all along is that we make a bunch of beds, and then we just need to put them in here with some carrots. So for the most part, there's quite a few guys will come over in this one, guys or gals, I should say. Make sure, I want 6 people in each of these, like we have enough. We're just gonna spread out some carrots, and it helps if you bring the carrots. Let me grab some carrots here real quick. We're pretty close on this side. I think it's more the other side that we need more. And let's see. Oh great, I do have carrots. We're gonna bring some extras. I don't know how many villagers. I guess we need to do a few extra for down below. But let's just come over here. This is why I had to put the dirt, because the little pet baby villagers were climbing over the glass because they can get underneath this and then run away. These guys can't when they're tall enough, but those baby villagers sure were doing it. So we're just gonna sprinkle some carrots here. This gives them all the food they need to start wanting to make baby villagers. We'll just spread around some carrots here. Great. I think that'll probably be enough for them. Let's make sure we have 6 beds in each of these. This one's kind of blocking our view, or our way out, so I'm just gonna spread some carrots to these guys. I think the other ones are probably gonna be the ones that make the babies, but we can let them do some too. Then we're gonna come over here to the last one and see how this one's doing. I think this is the one. Yeah, we don't have quite as many beds in here just yet. Does that get us all? I think that gets us all of the beds down that we're gonna need. Oh, I gotta remember though too. We've got most of the adults in here, so again, we're just gonna go crazy with the carrots. Let them start making some babies. And then once those babies grow up, we can get rid of all this dirt and kind of clean up what's been going on in here. I want to not keep the dirt up as long as possible. That's what I've been trying to do, is super quick. And luckily villagers breed super easy. You don't need a lot of those big villager breeders. You just need to give them carrots and have enough beds. So as you can see, they're going to start doing love hearts right away. And we should be seeing some babies here real quick. Alright, those two are gonna... Yep, there's one for us. Then I bet we have one on the other side if we go look. Let's check that out real quick. You can see I keep putting this dirt up. I like to try and jump. Oh, yep, there's our baby. So guys, it is that easy to get your villager population up. You don't need to build any kind of villager breeder. You just need a way for your villagers to see extra beds, give them enough carrots, and pretty soon, you might see one right here on camera. No? Come on. Give us the baby while we're here. Yep, and there you go. So guys, it's that easy. It's not hard to get your villagers up if you want to do this. And now you can see I've got them all labeled, what we're going to do. I'll put those workbenches and trade up with them off camera. But it's pretty easy to get all of your villagers. Like we got all of these farmers up and going. They're in their own area. Anytime I need to trade with a farmer, in I go. That's kind of how I got these golden carrots. Is I got one of these guys traded up all the way down to golden carrots. So villagers are that easy. That's kind of what we're going to be doing. I'll do more of that off camera. But our trading hall's getting there. This is pretty awesome. I love when the trading hall starts coming together. We have our farms going. We're going to be able to get lots of emeralds. And that's going to be very beneficial, especially with these guys, the masons. I don't know how much y'all have used these guys in the past, but it's beautiful. When you want quartz, this is the way to do it. Instead of having to travel a whole bunch in the nether trying to find out those little pockets of netherrack that have quartz in them, we can just trade them all. And this is really what I was talking about in some of the earlier episodes, of just being able to stay inside the village and really get all the blocks that we need. There shouldn't be a lot that we need to go searching for. We should be able to create the farms that we need just to get all the blocks right here in AchromatiCraft. So guys, that is kind of what's been going on with the trading hall. That's some of the stuff I've been doing offline with the landscaping. And that's really what we're going to keep pushing, is the landscaping more and more, is to make this area feel more achromatic and get that grayscale going. I've killed a lot of the chest monsters, still got a few hanging around here, but for the most part, we're getting there. And we're getting to the point where most of our lights are in the ground. See how nice and clean that looks? So much better. You can't even see, and it's perfect that the sun's going down just now, because we can see that this place stays pretty well lit up, and we don't need to have torch spam everywhere. And that's really going to be what our goal is just keep landscaping. But in the next one, we've got a plan, and this is going to take a little bit. I want to get our farm and our stone farm and our basalt farm set up in here. But those are only going to be as good as if we have a beacon so that we can do it super fast. If we have to do regular mining, it's going to be slow. So in the next episode, we're going to build up at least one of these farms and get a beacon going. That's a big statement because that's a lot of grind in the nether. But we've got a fortress. We know where it's at. We're going to go in the next episode, get all the heads we need. We'll go kill the wither and get one of our farms going. So watch for that, but thanks for watching. If you guys have any ideas on how to improve either my trees, the landscaping, or ideas for future builds, let me know. I love in the comments hearing what y'all think would be good ideas. So let me know. And thanks for watching. That'll be it for this episode. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.